Greetings. Peace be with you. So I hope that you have had a refreshing, revitalizing weekend of reflection and looking back at how you can improve, taking care of yourself really, because your first responsibility is to yourself. The more you take care of yourself, the better you are able to take care of those around you as well. Okay, never forget that. Now, in this video, I want to share with you a formula. Okay, a very simple formula that will motivate you to do anything. Okay, now, first and foremost, it's very important to understand what motivation is in the first place. Because I remember in my journey, at a previous point of my evolution, I used to watch a lot of motivational videos, a lot of motivational speeches with that epic music in the background. I'm listening to it. Yeah, I can do it. Yes, I got this. Yes, I'm going to do it. Right. And then I would actually feel this change in emotions, change in state, and I would actually go and do something. Right. And the reality is that that would not last, right? It got to the point where I was watching motivation videos in my bed, like right after busting a nut. And it's like, like crying watching the motivational video. And that's because I thought that motivation was about me getting hyped up and doing something that serves me, right? Now, the reality is that motivation is your motive for action. And when we do things that don't serve us, when we binge on that sugar, when we bust a nut, when we watch the TV, when we do destructive, when we engage in destructive behaviors that we know are not in alignment with our values, it's not because we aren't motivated, it's because we're motivated to do those things, right? What is your motive for action? That is what determines your motivation, your reasons for going down a particular path. So it's not so much about increasing your motivation. It is about getting clarity on your motivations, getting to the root of what drives you. Because above the surface level, it's like, yes, I have reasons to be strong, to be healthy, to eat clean, to start my business, to not procrastinate, to take care of myself, to improve myself, to level up. Yeah, that's above the surface. That is the tip of the iceberg. But underneath the surface is all of the subconscious programs. I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough. I don't think I can do this. I'm not worth anything. I'm not worth this, right? The shame, the guilt. And that's the stuff that we do not have an awareness on. And when we can learn to let go of that is when we can begin acting in alignment with our higher self, with our spiritual essence, rather than this lower emotions that have been conditioned in childhood. Okay, so very important to understand what drives human behavior. Okay, and what it really comes down to is the need to avoid pain and move towards pleasure, right? That is what drives our motivation. When we are motivated to binge a series on Netflix that we know is not best for us, it's still being followed through with because it makes us feel a certain type of way, right? It's the dopamine system in our brain, the neurotransmitter that drives human behavior, that makes us repeat certain behaviors as well. And the powers that be are very aware of this, okay? And because of this awareness, they are leveraging this bias, this cognitive bias that we have to favor short-term instant gratification over long-term gains. Okay, now understanding the formula that I'm about to share with you right now will help you identify where the leaks are so that you can get under the hood, understand why you don't do what you know you are supposed to, so that you can plug those leaks in and consistently begin showing up as a type of person that is living in alignment with their values. Okay, that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. How do you feel about yourself when you are by yourself? Okay, so this formula was developed by Pierce Steele, who won the Nobel Prize equivalent in the area of psychology for this formula after analyzing dozens of different meta-analysis studies. I would say thousands. I'm not sure on the exact number, but it really gets to the core of what drives our behavior. Okay, what is our motivation? What is our motive for action? Okay, so on the top, the numerator, first and foremost, the first variable is value. Okay, like I said, do you actually value what it is that you intend to accomplish? Okay, because so many times our mind body system has been hacked to value the short term instant gratification over the long term gain. So it really comes down to the reasons why. Okay, reasons come before results. Let's say that you want to get in shape, you want to get a six pack, you want to get healthy, whatever it is, right? Physically, you want to evolve to the next level. Now, do you actually value that, right? Do you actually want to lose some inches around your waist because you know that this is in your best interest? You know that your body is your temple and that it is what allows you to experience the higher states of awareness once it is clean and functioning near peak capacity? Or do you think that it's something that you should do? You think that people around you are telling you that you should do it, and you shame yourself and you guilt yourself because you don't like the way that you look in the mirror, right? Reasons come before results. Really get to the core of why you want to achieve a certain result. If your motivation, your value, right? When you value getting in shape because you want to show up for your grandchildren, because you want to show up for your children, you want to show up for the people that are in your vicinity, and you want to show up as an example, that will be a much higher value driver over there, right? So someone I follow online is Tom Bilyeu, who is the host of a show called Impact Theory. And a story that he shares over there is that he hates working out. He hates working out, but what gets him to the gym every single time is that he uses that dark energy. He imagines that his wife is getting raped, right? He imagines that, and he imagines himself being helpless in order to help her, right? He can't help her because he's not strong enough. He's weak. So he uses that mind game really to get himself to increase the value of him going to the gym, to increase the value of him doing the work that needs to be done, right? So we really want to increase the value that we associate with a particular desired behavior. Now, the second variable is on the numerator, is value times expectancy, okay? Do you expect to achieve this goal, okay? Because if you set a goal to lose 100 pounds in a month, right? That's like extremely exaggerated. Then it's going to be very difficult that when you on week 1, week 2, you notice that, oh, it's only 10, 15 pounds. So I'm not going to achieve that 100-pound mark anyway. So I don't expect I'm going to reach it anymore. So I'm not going to be motivated to take the right behaviors, right? In the same way, let's say you intend to start $1 million business, but you've never generated even $1,000 online. You're like, I'm going to be a 7-figure owner by the end of 2020, right? And you never even generated $10,000 online, let's say. Then you will not expect it, right? We have to set our goals in terms of, yes, that's a long-term vision, but what is this 12-week benchmark that is actually within the realm of my capability right now? Because your capability will increase once you hit that 10,000 mark, then you will get to the next mark, then the next mark, then the next mark, because every mountain peak that you summit will reveal you to an entirely new landscape. So it's not about you being limited by your current capabilities. It's about you understanding what is something that you expect of yourself that you can actually achieve. Because when you set an objective that is outside the realm of your expectation, okay, then when you don't reach it, you'll just be like, oh, when you don't take action of it, that action will not be taken because you're like, oh, I'm not going to achieve that anyway, so why do it, right? So we want to increase the numerator. We want to increase the value that we have with a certain desired behavior. We want to increase the expectancy that we have to achieve a certain result, right? That's a numerator. Then at the denominator, we have, first and foremost, is impulsivity, right? How impulsive are you? How likely are you to chase shiny objects? How likely are you to react based on stimulus in the environment? Right? We come back to this idea again and again on this channel, which is the difference between being a thermometer, which reacts to the environment, versus a thermostat that dictates the environment. Which one are you, right? Because it really comes down to putting yourself in the space between stimulus and response and choosing your most empowered expression rather than your compulsive reaction that's based on conditioning. Right? The more we can put ourselves in that space by taking a deep breath in and really contemplating a decision and asking the question, what would the highest self do right now? What would the highest version of me do right now? Right? And then making that decision through that lens rather than how it feels in the moment to feel good. Right? So we want to really reduce that impulsivity. And the number one way to reduce that impulsivity, right, is to sit in silence for 20 minutes a day. Okay, just meditate, whatever that means to you. Sit in silence, cut off the stimulus from the outside, sit, observe your thoughts, and that is scientifically proven to increase the amount of blood flow to your prefrontal cortex, which is the seat of your willpower and decision making. So the more you can do that, the more likely you are to put yourself in the space between stimulus and response, and more likely to make the right decision over the easy decision. Okay, so the bottom of this equation is impulsivity times delay. Okay, procrastination with a deadline becomes motivation. We are more likely to follow through with something if we have a deadline associated with it, right? A dream with a deadline becomes a goal, some quote like that I read on Instagram. But it's so important to have a deadline, because if that deadline is not there, or if it's way into the future, then we're like, oh, we have 2 months for this, oh, we have 3 months for this. I remember my time in university, I had like a paper due or something like that, and I was like, oh, I have like 2 months left for it, I have 3 months left for it, and then I would just keep delaying that until it got to the point where I would just let go of it. And then I would wait till the last day, and then the last day would come, and then I would somehow pull an all-nighter and get it done, right? So I don't know who's disturbing my video right now, but I'll just come back to it. I don't know what she's saying right now, but I'm just about to finish this video, so I'll get back to you right now. And what it comes down to is increasing the numerator, right? Distracted over here, someone's over here. So increasing the numerator, right? Increasing the value, increasing the expectancy, and decreasing the impulsivity, and decreasing the delay. Once you understand where the leak is in you, according to this equation, then you are way more likely to get motivated in alignment with what you know is serving you, rather than falling back on conditioning. Okay, get an awareness on this equation, understand where the leak is based on any one of these variables, and you are guaranteed to go ahead and take consistent action towards your goals. Okay, so with that, I conclude this video. I hope that you got value from it. Leave a comment below letting me know where exactly the leak is, and I'll do my best to help you out over there. Subscribe if you have not already. But with all that being said, I will leave you in the peace and power of the one infinite creator, and I'll catch you in the next one.